Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Going to shoot a quick little live stream video here today. If you come across the video while we're live, definitely hop in the chat. Feel free to leave any comments you have down below. We'll definitely review those here in a little bit. Also going to make this live stream available to be watched on our channel later as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the video today. We're going to be looking at Yieldmax ETFs. Today is April 1st. So brand new month to, start making some dividends, distributions, profit from your portfolio. Hope you guys are managing the pullback that we've been having the last several weeks. It's definitely been a lot of fear in the market with tariffs and lots of other factors that are going on right now. But hopefully you're managing your emotions, managing your risk, and just being smart with your portfolios. But yeah, so looking at Yieldmax, this is going to come out tomorrow morning. Let's go ahead and look at what tickers are going to be paying. So obviously they have their weekly pairs, right? So they're starting to get quite a lot here. GPTY, LFGY, QDTY, RDTY, SDTY, ULTY, YMAG, and YMAX. So those all pay every single week. I haven't been following the performance of a lot of them, but I imagine with pretty much all the stocks in recently have been getting hit pretty hard. We'll take a look at some of the performance of some of them here in a minute. And then the remaining are their group funds. You got your ABNY. This is Airbnb based. AMDY, CONY, CVNY, FIAT, I believe is an inverse fund. MSFO, NFLY, and PYPY. Coming over to their website. If you go to their distribution schedules here, and we'll go down. So this is going to be April 2nd. So the one that's highlighted there. I'll highlight a bunch of them. These will be their Group C funds that will be paying tomorrow, or they'll be announcing tomorrow and they'll be paying on Thursday. I apologize. They'll be announcing tomorrow. They'll be going on ex-dividend on Thursday, and then their payments will be Friday. Group C, CONY, FIAT, MSFO, AMDY, NFLY, AMDY, PYPY, and CVNY. CONY is definitely one of their most popular funds. Once again, they try to put their most popular funds from an assets under management perspective at the top here. CONY, I don't think has been doing well. Actually, I don't think a lot of these have been doing well from a total return or, from a price return perspective. But yeah, Group C funds, if you're an investor in some of these funds, congratulations. You're going to be getting distributions this upcoming Friday. So looking back, I wanted to look at, what was the article? So it looks like Donald Trump is potentially trying to, so the economic risks and political benefits of Trump's 20% Liberation Day tariff options. So he's trying to unwind a little bit of, how strict that he, originally came in with, some of his tariffs. Let's see. But we'll see kind of how, how the market reacts to that. And then we'll kind of go from there. Pull this other window over here. I'm going to pull up the live stream, see if there's any questions, and then briefly go back to Yieldmax and look at, some comments of what people are, pretty much what people have to say. Six people watching. Yeah. What's going on, Oracle? Yeah, I would love to, do a live stream I know we've been going back and forth for, a good time. Would love to kind of pick your brain. You're definitely a lot more advanced in a lot of these, types of investments than I am. But yeah, I definitely love enjoying your channel. Definitely go check out his channel, Oracle ETFs. Does anyone know why ULTY did not pay out last week? That's a good question. And look at this. So I saw someone talk about this on X. I don't know if you guys can see that on my screen here. So this user said ULTY has a negative cash balance and still hasn't gotten my dividend for last week. Should I be concerned? Yeah, that's pretty concerning. If they missed a week of payments. I haven't been following this a whole lot, but that's crazy. And I don't know how they're going to unwind that, because ULTY pays every single week. So they could kind of, quickly get themselves into a situation, where it could get pretty interesting. But yeah, so looking at the comments, distributions will help cushion the blow of the market. Typically that's what covered calls are for, right? To kind of hedge the downside. Doesn't sometimes always hedge it when you have a huge correction. It hedges some. But the important thing too is when we come out of it, the problem with some of these are your upside's going to be capped, right? So YMAX 32 cents. Yeah, ULTY didn't pay out last week. Yeah, that seems to be a lot of people aren't happy about that. CONY, better get my ULTY payment. Please don't reverse split. This is some great commentary. If you're not following them on X, definitely a lot of good comments and a good little community to come on here and chime in on for sure. ULTY paid last night. Okay, thank God. I got my ULTY dividend yesterday. I'm wondering if it was because it switched to weekly and maybe messed up the dates in the auto pay system. That definitely could have been. Definitely could have been. ULTY was paid last night. That's great, man. Good to see that. Yeah, so needless to say though, Yieldmax I'm sure has been under a lot of pressure. Their funds have been getting smacked, right? So we'll see. We'll see which ones can survive. If we continually pull back, I think overall today it was kind of choppy, back and forth. Tesla took off today. I traded it a little bit while this morning, but I wish I would have held it. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Yes, I'm looking at Tesla here. But boy, oh boy, it was, where did we open up at? We opened up at 266, roughly, pulled down. I bought in at like 264, and I ended up making, make like $2 per share, but it shot up. I was like, oh man, definitely missed out on that. But that's part of trading, right? You can't always time the market 100% right. Oracle. JG 1982. I feel like I've seen you on my videos before. I feel like you had mentioned you had a pretty big portfolio. I would like to do some type of group Zoom call or Discord call where I could get feedback from other points of views, definitely from you guys and stuff too. I felt like it'd be super valuable for everybody. Oracle for sure. Oracle's definitely a huge advocate in this space. Yieldmax loves this because they can now blame the market for crappy performance. But we all remember the truth before things crashed. Absolutely, man. Yeah. Yeah, you're the one that's been calling it out for sure. Definitely longer than I have. But yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of people even before this pullback, we're getting smacked. But I can imagine kind of what they're going through right now. I've been dollar cost averaging down on my Tesla position, trying to get out of that. Luckily, it's a very small position, so like I'm not really worried about it. But it can quickly go against you for sure too if you keep dollar cost averaging, or if you go in with too much size at the wrong time, or just kind of general investing advice, regardless of what stock or ETF you invest in. You just gotta practice that risk management for sure. You bought at 250 last week. Yeah, Tesla has obviously been getting beat up with all of the news around Elon Musk, but it is choppy, man. And like it'll have some day like today. I don't know what it was up at one point, but I know they have some news coming out. But I mean, look at the price action from 262 to 276. Like that's a huge move. Huge move. I know Rivian was another big one. One of my buddies was trading that. I mean, that's a huge move. Look at that. Apologize for that. Lower NAV equals higher percentage payout. True. 250. Yeah, man. You bought at 250. I hope you held on to some, right? Because who knows? It could rip up to $300 a share pretty quickly. Good old beloved CONY. It's getting smacked. I'm all in on LFGY after losing a lot. I made a bunch back with MSTU and MSTX, then went all in on LFGY. LFGY, that's the crypto one, right? Yeah, crypto industry and tech portfolio. I like that one. I don't like it 100% LFGY, but I think I like it like in a combination with like, obviously crypto exposure yourself as well, but I don't know. It just depends on your strategy, right? Like, how are you using these funds? And I hope it's for income. I'm hoping you're looking for income if you're investing into these high yielder funds. They're definitely not growth funds, and the exception of Misty last year, right? Or Babo has been killing it. But yeah. Just look at the prospectus of these funds. They're selling the upside, right? So what do you want? Upside or premium or income? But yeah. Oracle, if you're still here, I know I watched a video you had posted, I think a couple days ago. You were talking about buying the inverse funds. I'm sure that's pretty tricky too, trying to time the ups and the downs. Obviously, if you could have been hedging your portfolio the last couple of weeks or so, but what's the inverse? Is it MSTZ? Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, you got smoked 12% today if you're an MSTZ. Past month, it's still down. Wow. What's MSTR done the past month? It's up 20%. Goodness gracious, this stock is just crazy. Talk about a volatile stock in the swings. Let's look at what it did today. I mean, okay, so it opened up at, that was today. A low of 284, and it went clear to 305. Yeah, so this is another choppy stock too that, if you day trade, could be something that you look at. JG, so do you just buy and hold, or like do you sell? Like I know a lot of these probably aren't. You can't really sell options against. You can't really sell options against a lot of these funds, but I've seen someone online, talk about running the wheel on MSTR, right? Generating premium that way and throwing those profits into like a Misty or, so forth there. So do you do something like that, or something that I also like to do too? Like, so like I'll buy a certain share count that I'm comfortable with holding, right? So say it's, I don't know, 100, 500,000, like whatever share count is comfortable for you to hold up and down, regardless of what the price action does. And then, so for this instance, let's say it's 100 shares, right? So it's only $2,100. But then I trade it, right? Like I trade these peaks and valleys, like, and then I'll just use like, so I'm hoping to profit a little bit on some of these movements, constantly taking my risk on and off the table. So kind of similar to selling covered calls on a fund, but like, so I'll buy 100 shares, right? And then I'll buy another 100, then sell it. Buy another 100, sell it. And then just kind of continually, profiting that way too. Might be a little overkill, but something that I've done and kind of just helped to lower my risk and my cost basis. I bought WNTR. Yeah, I think that's like the inverse one, right? WNTR. When crypto season is over, coin is a bloodbath. And I now hold a bunch of fiat at under $8. Yeah, that's it's pretty interesting. Yieldmax came out with the inverse funds. They're tricky investments, right? You just have to know how to get in and get out, right? Because long term, you'd hope the stock market goes up, but time will tell. I made $3,000 on it in a day and sold it. Yeah, sweet, man. That's the way to do it, in my opinion. You hedged your portfolio a little bit for sure. Could you have held on to it longer and made more? Definitely. Could you have lost more? Sure. Who knows? But it sounds like you profited on a tricky inverse play. So props to you, man. Definitely enjoy your YouTube content. Let's get something figured out. Let's get the twins together too. That'd be cool to do some kind of call. JG said, yeah, just buy and hold, focus on drip, snowball, compounding. I just want simplicity because of busy life. Don't like to overthink. Yeah, man. I mean, that's the value in passively investing into the stock market. You have that as an option. You don't have to actively manage your portfolio, manage these sophisticated option selling strategies with constantly making decisions, strike prices, expiration dates, and so forth there. So definitely understand you want the simplicity. I think, I guess it just depends. Like you said, if you don't have the time to manage yourself, then you definitely don't want to be selling options yourself. But it can be a little tricky sometimes with these buying, holding of these funds, right? So Yieldmax is great at losing money. The less time that you're actually in the funds, the better you'll do. So bar right there, Oracle. No, I mean, time will tell, right? Time will tell. We'll see. JG, yeah, I wish you well, man. Yeah, LFGY, long term, I like a lot of their holdings and stuff too. I don't know, do they hold some of the actual. This is probably a terrible website to be looking at their holdings. Yahoo Finance. Let's see if I can find. I think LFGY actually holds some of the funds. Like they're not all synthetic. I could be wrong on that, but let me check. Oh, beloved LFGY. Did I miss it? Okay. Yeah, so they are holding. Yeah, okay. So they are holding actual shares. So yeah, I think that'll. I like IBIT for sure. But yeah, these are all crypto exposure companies. So yeah, cool, man. Long term, I think, you know, if you give yourself long enough, you'll be straight. Yeah, guys, but that's it for today. Just had some time here to quickly hop on a call once again. So actually it looks like they got their 2 target 12 funds coming out tomorrow. Or coming up. Actually, it was today. Shoot. Okay. Good old beloved Biggie and Soxy, 45 cents, 42 cents. Those are 2 of their target 12 funds, so that's cool. But keep an eye out for these funds coming out tomorrow. Some big hitters in this list for sure. LFGY, I bet you're pretty happy that they now pay weekly. That's cool. Those two are pretty interesting. I'm curious to see how these will do, right? So these will kind of give XDTE and QDTE, round hills, kind of equivalent run for their money. ULTY, long term, man, I think it should turn around, but you know, we'll see. You know, anytime. I know they were buying and selling calls on like some 3x leveraged funds, which I know can get really tricky when we have a market when it pulls back like it does. It can be great when everything's going up, but yeah, unwinding some of those positions might be pretty hard in the short term. You know, hopefully for Yieldmax's sake and, you know, all their investors, they can kind of turn some things around, but you know, they can only do what they can do, right? If the market pulls back, there's they have rules within their funds and they can only do so much there. So, I mean, that's another reason that having a little bit more control sometimes, being able to not just sell calls just to sell calls, but actually sell them above your cost basis and so forth there. Just some pros of kind of running these strategies yourself. But yeah, do with that as you will. These will be getting announced tomorrow morning. I think they announce it around like 6:55 typically. So definitely go follow their page on X for that data. Yeah, appreciate. Yeah, I want to do some more lives for sure. JG, definitely appreciate your feedback coming in here. Don't mind losing because it's cash liquidity. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. Thoughts on ULTY holding GME now? Yeah, I haven't been following GME, but you know, it sounds like ULTY, they're going after those high IV plays, right? So GME might be one they can get in and out of. So it might be good for their investors. We'll see. Thanks, man. Yeah, Oracle. Let's collab. I love picking your brain, and I would love to have like a group live, some type of structured live. That'd be cool for sure. But I gotta hop off here for now. Hope you guys have a great evening. You know, once again, make sure you guys are managing your risk. Don't make the stock market just a huge gambling casino, because you know we've all been there, right? Hope you can manage your emotions, you know, manage your money, and just kind of be smart overall in these times of fear and uncertainty. Just kind of be smart with it, right? So that's gonna be it though. Please like, subscribe. Appreciate it for everybody tuning in. ULTY's been so bad. I had 24,000 shares at over $10. Yeah, man. You probably have a lot of pain with Yieldmax. So, I mean, just that pain kind of can definitely, you know, help educate other people for sure. And, you know, you can teach us your ways, Oracle. But no, your videos are good, man. Keep them coming for sure. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it. Take care. Hope you guys have a great evening. Stay tuned for more content coming.